This Acast podcast is sponsored by NetSuite. 36,000. The number of businesses which have upgraded to the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite by Oracle. 25. NetSuite just turned 25. That's 25 years of helping businesses streamline their finances and reduce costs. 1. Because your unique business deserves a customized solution, and that's NetSuite. Learn more when you download NetSuite's popular Key Performance Indicators checklist, absolutely free, at netsuite.com/tech. That's netsuite.com/tech.
On today's Smart 7, doctor strikes make history, Joe Biden condemns Russia at UN, and lots more. It's Wednesday the 20th of September, it's National Fitness Day, and happy birthday, George R.R. Martin.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Tuesday saw consultants hit the picket lines again as they continue to refuse Rishi's first and final offer and demand proper pay talks. Wednesday sees history being made as the junior doctors also walk out, leaving hospitals with Christmas levels of cover. Deputy Chief Executive of the NHS provider, Saffron Coterie, says there's an unprecedented situation for the health service.
We are now in uncharted territory in terms of joint industrial action now between junior doctors and consultants, and it's going to have a very worrying impact on services.
Health Secretary Steve Barclay seems to be more focused on bringing in anti-strike legislation, and it's been more than 100 days since he sat down with the British Medical Association to discuss their demands. He's keen to introduce so-called minimum service level laws, but primarily to protect patients.
We recognise the right to strike is important, but we've got to balance that with also the right of patients to key treatments like chemotherapy, like dialysis.
The British Medical Association's Dr Tom Dolphin says the government needs to take the doctors' pay claims seriously, and it needs to understand that doctors have other options outside of the UK.
This country is not valuing its doctors in an international market where doctors can move around the world and can go and work anywhere. We're not valuing doctors the way we should be, and that's why the health service is struggling.
Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer has been on a low-key international leadership tour. He started in The Hague last week to discuss small boats, visited Justin Trudeau in Montreal, and then wrapped up with a 45-minute meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris. Apparently, he brought an Arsenal shirt as a gift and received cufflinks in return.
It was my first opportunity to say how much I value the relationship between our two countries and how, if we are privileged enough to be elected into power, I intend to build on that relationship and make it even stronger than it is today.
With Labour preparing for power, things seem to be going from bad to worse for the Tories. A new poll says 90% of voters, including 65% of Tories, want a change of leadership. The crumbling concrete crisis hasn't gone away either, with another 27 schools now at risk and only 11 schools provided with the temporary classrooms they need. Gillian bloody good job Keegan was at it again in the comments as she proudly declared students prefer their temporary accommodation without any sense of self-awareness.
In fact, at the first school I went to, the children were all petitioning me to stay in the porter cabin because they actually preferred it to the classroom. So the porter cabins are very, very high quality.
The Horizon Post Office scandal saw post office workers across the country wrongly convicted of fraud because of a fault in an IT system installed in the late 1990s. Many were sent to jail, and so far 86 convictions have been overturned. Now the government has made an initial offer to those affected of £600,000, but that offer hasn't impressed those who suffered through it, including Janet Skinner, who was wrongly jailed for 9 months. She says it's just not enough after 17 years of misery.
It's a step in the right direction. They've come a long way, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to be settling for.
Former postmaster Noel Thomas, who worked for the post office for his whole life and was jailed for 9 months in 2008, says the offer is a pittance compared to the misery and the legal fees those accused have faced.
I spent 42 years working for Royal Mail, 32 years as a postman and 10 years as a postmaster, and to be treated the way I was treated. And when you read the stories about other people, the way they've treated people, you can't believe it in this day and age.
The UN General Assembly opened in New York on Tuesday. Its main focus this year is intended to be the global south and issues such as climate change. But with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in attendance, there's been a continued focus on Russia's war in Ukraine. Zelensky called out Russia for the mass kidnapping of Ukrainian children, which he described as a genocide. US President Joe Biden also took a clear position during his opening address, calling out Russia and asking world leaders to stand with Ukraine.
Russia alone bears responsibility for this war. Russia alone has the power to end this war immediately. And it's Russia alone that stands in the way of peace, because Russia's price for peace is Ukraine's capitulation, Ukraine's territory, and Ukraine's children.
So to come on the Smart 7, Newcastle pick up a point and Married at First Sight makes history.
Right after this.
Well, shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Welcome back.
The Champions League is back. Tuesday night saw Newcastle head to Italy to face AC Milan, where they picked up their first Champions League point in 20 years with a 0-0 draw. And Manchester City came from 1-0 down to beat Red Star Belgrade 3-1. Now the big game on Wednesday sees Eric Ten Hag's troubled Man United team head to Germany to face Bayern Munich. Former Spurs striker Harry Kane will be waiting in his new Bayern strip and is keen to get his name on the Champions League trophy.
Yeah, there's a reason that Bayern Munich brought me to the club, and they're really, of course, eager to try and get back to winning the Champions League, and they feel I can be a big help, and obviously I feel I can help the team as well.
Married at First Sight is back on E4 and the new series started with a bang. There were 8 new brides and the series is set to run for 6 weeks this time out. It's also made history as we were introduced to Ella, the first transgender bride in the show's history. She told Lorraine that it's a small but important step for equality and she's been delighted with the support.
Going into this, I knew I'd get a lot of backlash and a lot of hate as the first transgender person, and the amount of support I've had, it has shown me how amazing, the public are, and I'm lucky to have my family, and the fact that it's 2023, I'm making history, and this shouldn't be making history. This should have happened ages ago.
Way back in 2009, there was a viral phenomenon that became known as This Man. It appeared the same man was appearing in loads of different people's dreams. It turned out to be a viral marketing hoax, but now a new movie starring Nicolas Cage asks what could happen if it was real. Dream Scenario sees Nick become the man of everyone's dreams until things start to get pretty weird. It's a sort of a comedy horror, and it hits cinemas in November.
Have you been dreaming about me?
Have I been dreaming about you?
Yeah. There's like 100 messages. Somebody wants to interview me.
This is strange. Maybe you should take a minute and think before you do anything drastic.
Why me? I don't know. I'm special, I guess.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
This Acast podcast is sponsored by NetSuite. 36,000. The number of businesses which have upgraded to the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite by Oracle. 25. NetSuite just turned 25. That's 25 years of helping businesses streamline their finances and reduce costs. 1. Because your unique business deserves a customized solution, and that's NetSuite. Learn more when you download NetSuite's popular Key Performance Indicators checklist, absolutely free, at netsuite.com/tech. That's netsuite.com/tech.